Good morning. Good morning. All right, guys, we are live. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about the 22 predictions that I have for Tobago in 2022. Okay? Just making sure all, everywhere is good to go. Yeah, think we're good to go. Are you all hearing me, seeing me on Facebook? Let me know. If not, I will do something about it, although I'm not sure what. But yeah, so okay, so like you all know, I am not, as I say, a seafarer woman. I am just a Tobago observer, a Tobago enthusiast. And as a result, I feel like I want to make 22 predictions. So don't fault me, right? I did part 1 yesterday, which was 1 through 5. So today we're going to go through 7 through 11. So I'm here wasting all that time. We're doing it, we're getting right into it, right? So number 7 is that tourism takes social media even more seriously in 2022 by hiring key persons whose entire existence, right, is predicated on creating Tobago content, finding Tobago content, and reposting it at scale, right? And if we're not taking TikTok seriously, like, why is there not a TikTok account for Tobago? Even if it's Visit Tobago account or whatever. Hey, Hollow Point, how you doing? Oh gosh, the wind and working with me, but we gotta work with it, right? Hey, Anish Ramsaran, how you? Right? So yeah, so tourism takes social media really, really seriously. And here are the key hires that tourism probably needs to hire, right? They need to figure out who is their media person, somebody who pulls all the content together in one big strategy and posts according to that strategy. And I'm not talking one post a day or nothing like that. No, it's more like 10 posts a day across multiple platforms, right? And if you're on TikTok, you probably want to be posting at least, with an organization as big as tourism. I'm going to say as big, meaning an actual organization is not is not a person, a human being doing it. You're looking at least 8 pieces of content, a day across TikTok. And yeah, really creating a TikTok account. And so this game is going to be quantity over necessarily quality. So we're not going to try to find the best and the most amazing and, top video quality. That I'm sorry, but that's not what is the thing that makes people want to come here. It's the connection. It's because if you try to play that game, we're gonna lose, right? We're gonna lose because there's always gonna be somebody out there with a better camera. There's always gonna be somebody out there with a better this, a better that. To create content, all you really need is a phone. You don't need all these high-tech gadgetry, right? This idea of it looking good, that's a state of mind. That ain't have nothing to do with nothing. That is, perfectionism is a personal thing. It's not like, you might be like, oh God, it's imperfect, and somebody like, oh my God, it's so perfect. Or you might be like, oh my God, it's the only mistake. You need to get away from that, right? So taking social media seriously means posting a lot of content daily for the Tobago account, whatever that is, if we are going to encourage people to come here, right? Number 8 is, we're going to commit to making Tobago a blue zone, whereby we have people, right? Blue zones are the areas of the world where people live the longest and they're the healthiest. So if we are committed to making Tobago a blue zone, it means that we take eating seriously, right? We introduce eating into the curriculum, because the person who's going to live to 100 years in the next 100 years, right? That person is about to be born, right? That person is probably going to be born today, yesterday. So we want to make sure that we are committed to the health of the mother eating, the health of everybody eating. And then also, exercise goes along with that. I remember that, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, Assemblywoman Faith Israel had you remember on mornings we used to exercise in different villages? That was so much fun. And if we go ahead and record those and make them available on YouTube for time in memorial, Hey, right? So we creating content, but we also live in the lifestyle. We live in the healthy lifestyle. So we're talking about the exercise, we're talking about the eating, and quite frankly, a lot of the people who we've seen fall victim to, you know what I want to say, the word that we say that we no longer can say online, right? Pandemic word that, the people who are falling victim to the pandemic are usually people who they're saying have comorbidities, right? So it's people who have the diabetes, the high blood pressure, those things. So we want to attack those things by committing to being a blue zone area, right? Okay, next thing, number 9, we want to create a database of Tobagonians abroad, right? And create a real tunnel from there, wherever there is, right? US has the most Tobagonians, I'm guessing, abroad right now, right? But other places, to Europe, maybe even Australia, wherever, right? So we want to create a real tunnel from those places directly into Tobago and have those people feel like they are engaged, have those people feel like they are vested in what's actually happening on the ground with constant communication between the two. I believe there's something called team, like I think it's the Tobago something. There's a Tobago group in New York that operates in New York. They're the ones that do Tobago Day. So creating constant contact with those people, right? One of the main reasons why Cuba was able to do so well during their, banishment, right, from the US government was that they had their people living abroad sending back money and, really trying to be involved in things. So obviously, probably not from a political level, but definitely we're sending money back to Cuba for people to be able to do wherever. Now, it doesn't have to be money, but it also can, right? So just creating the database so that we know how many Tobagonians are out there at any given time, and not just how many, what do they do, what are they involved in, like how can we leverage their talent, their time to achieve greater good here, right? Number 10, let's start taking inventory of and naming things after our local heroes or local flora and fauna, right? So the lay-by is no longer just the lay-by, right? It's now the Calypso Rose lay-by or the Cocrico lay-by or the Guti lay-by, like whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm just saying, let's start naming our things with our people, like our heroes, our things that we see every day here. Like, let's start naming our things according to that. Like, put a label on things. Think about it, right? When something has a label on it, you're more likely to engage with it, trust it, you're more likely to use the name to talk about it, right? Instead of just delay by, right? Okay, so let's start labeling things in 2022, shall we? Number 11, and this is the last one. Let's stop this smear campaign, right, on the Cocrico. Let's exalt her to Queen Regent status, which is the highest thing it could ever be. Queen Regent is like queen for life, right? Right? Let's reimagine the Cocrico. Let's create Cocrico positive content, okay? Because, like it or not, I don't know how it is we came to be assigned the Cocrico as our national bird, or if we took the reins on that. I highly doubt it. But what is the reality is that this is what we have now. So it's either we decide to change that, right? So I'm predicting in 2022 that either we decide to come together as Tobagonians and say we don't want the Cocrico, we want something else. That's fine. But if we do decide to continue with the Cocrico, then hey, embrace she have she things, all right? She's a madam, she's a lady. So let's do things that exalt her and thereby exalt us as Tobagonians, right? Yeah, thank you so much, Latricia Christian. I appreciate you saying that you like my Tobago content. Listen,